country and you are dying from a preventable disease, would you want the rest of the world to sit around and watch, or do something to help? Can one person make a difference in a worldwide epidemic? The answer is yes. Success has nothing to do with what you gain in life or accomplish yourself. It is what you do for others. A quote by Danny Thomas. The sources I used were quotegarden.com, inspirationspark.com, quotec.com, brainyquote.com, UNICEFusa.org, childrenscolorado.org, childinfo.org, huntingtondisease.tripod.com, wikipedia.org, mtv.com, and I interviewed Katie Williams. The experience I have with dealing with this topic is very limited. Personally, I have no connection to the UNICEF Corporation, but the thought that there is a way to help the women and children around the world came close to my heart, which I learned that help for this organization is very limited. I have done a lot of research on the UNICEF Corporation, providing an excess amount of information I could use. The intention of my speech is to persuade my audience that there is a solution out there to decrease the number of preventable deaths in women and children. The problem with my speech is trying to acknowledge is that there are women and children dying all over the world from preventable deaths, and the solution to this problem is that with the help of money, donations, and contributions to UNICEF, the number of deaths could decrease dramatically. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. By William James. The problem that my speech is aimed to fix is the fact that women and children are dying all over the world from preventable disease, and we are standing around watching. Women and children are dying all over the world from preventable diseases like HIV or AIDS, malaria, polio, tetanus, malnutrition, and much, much more. But for the benefit of this speech, I'm only going to break it down and just talk about one topic, which would be malnutrition. Malnutrition may not seem like it is a huge problem, but the signs of malnutrition are not significant enough to bring up any cause for concern, making it a huge problem. Malnutrition can go completely unannounced. Malnutrition may be mild enough to show no symptoms or so severe that the damage it has done is so irreversible that even the individual may be kept alive. Malnutrition continues to be a significant problem all over the world, especially among children. Poverty, natural disasters, political problems, and war all contribute to conditions, even epidemics, or malnutrition and starvation, and not just in developing countries. 6 million children die from hunger every year. The effects of malnutrition on people is mostly common sense. Malnutrition directly affects people. Signs that indicate malnutrition are loss of appetite, significant weight loss, hair and skin changes, a swollen abdomen, a gross water retention, or the body retains water. Malnutrition is the condition that occurs when your body does not get enough nutrients. Malnutrition is the underlying cause of more than 1/3 of all childhood deaths. A malnourished child is less able to fight off illness, less likely to get the most out of schooling, and often becomes physically and mentally stunted. Most of the villagers were hiding in the bush, where they were dying from bad water, malaria, and malnutrition. A quote from Nicholas D. Kristof. Another quote, this one by Gro Brundtland, states, the dual scourge of hunger and malnutrition will be truly vanquished not only when granaries are full, but also when people's basic health needs are met and women are given their rightful role in societies. Malnutrition affects everyone, but mainly children are affected because they cannot fend for themselves and live on their own. They require help from others to survive. Children are the ones who receive scraps and cannot find food from themselves, and when they do not manage to find it, they do not care if it is bad for them. They save food because they are starving. Malnutrition affects people of every age, although infants, children, and adolescents may suffer the most because many nutrients are critical for normal growth and development. Childhood malnutrition is a condition that increases children's vulnerability to deadly diseases and stunts their physical and cognitive development. Every 6 seconds, a child dies from malnutrition and related causes. The consequence of malnutrition is death. It is the cold, hard truth. Very rarely does someone recover from malnutrition. Katie Williams states that the number of children's deaths will continue to increase as long as the amount of children suffering from malnutrition continues to increase. Every day, more than 21,000 children die, and they don't have to. They die from causes most people in the U.S. rarely worry about. In a matter of days, you'll see serious sickness, malnutrition, and even starvation. A quote from Mother Teresa. The solution that I present to you is to support UNICEF in their work. UNICEF is one of the few organizations working toward lowering the number of children's deaths all over the world. My solution is to donate not just money, but time and effort to support UNICEF's goal. Every penny UNICEF receives through donations goes to helping someone in some country all over the world. Every cent counts when it comes to life or death. You can say that there are other solutions to this problem, but I can easily tell you, yes, you are right. But are those other solutions as easy as this one? Donating to UNICEF is an effortless task that only takes a few minutes of someone's time. This solution would not improve the symptoms of malnutrition, but it goes straight to the core of the problem. The core to this problem is the fact that there isn't enough nutritious food over the world, and this solution brings the food and supplies that the rest of the world needs right to their doorstep. Donations can be done by anyone, whether it's just $1 or if it's a $1,000 donation. A donation is a donation no matter the size of the price tag. Every little bit counts when it comes to a life or death situations like this. With a rise in donations to UNICEF, the amount of money they can spend on supplies also increases, which in turn increases the amount of food and supplies that can be sent all over the world to keep the amount of malnutrition-related deaths down, and hopefully at a level lower than ever before. A $10 donation provides a blanket, and a $30 donation provides essential hygiene materials to 5 people for 1 month. UNICEF accepts any donation they receive because it all goes to the same place, to helping the lives of the less fortunate. In Eritrea, for instance, routine immunization coverage went from 18% in 1990 to 84% in 2003. Niger jumped from 25% to 64%, and Uganda moved from 52% to 82% in that same period. To put this solution in action, spreading the word and advertising would be a major help factor. UNICEF doesn't usually advertise for help, so most people don't even know about it. Spreading the word about the truth and what is going on is the best way to put this solution into action. There is no guarantee that this solution would be a positive one. It depends on you, the people who decide. Human benefits would be the fact that childhood death rate would considerably drop from 21,000 to who knows how many. Knowing that you saved the life of a child should be more than enough of a good reason to help support UNICEF in their goals. Any child has a life worth living, but just some aren't fortunate enough to experience life's full potential. It takes a leader to stand up and help them, and in their own footsteps will come followers doing the exact same. A quote from my interview, Katie Williams. The problem I discussed was that there is a solution out there to decrease the number of preventable deaths in women and children, and we aren't taking advantage of it. My solution is that with the help of money, donations, and contributions to UNICEF, the number of deaths should decrease dramatically. Every woman and child deserves to live a long, healthy life and prosperous life. But with the conditions in some countries now, that life is simply not possible. With the help of any UNICEF supporter, you can change the course of someone's life. Take that life from ending after a short period of time to a long life, like a mother being able to watch over her children grow up and have their own family, or if it's just being able to see someone survive after coming face to face with death itself. Thank you.